Welcome to Life with David. I'm David, and today I need a new gas grill. 6 years ago, I purchased an inexpensive Dyna-Glo 2-burner propane grill with a side burner. I made a couple YouTube videos and they got a ton of views. I've gotten a lot of use from that grill, but unfortunately, rust finally won. I've had both expensive and inexpensive grills. An expensive grill will last about 50% longer than an inexpensive grill, but it costs 3 to 4 times more. So I decided to go the inexpensive route again. I purchased a Charbroil model 463286225 4-burner grill from Lowe's. Since I've got a cookout soon, why don't you join me as we assemble this Charbroil gas grill? While I unbox the grill, I'd like to spend a moment on safety. There's nothing more important than keeping you and your loved ones safe. Be sure to read, understand, and follow the safety rules for your tools. Using your tools properly will greatly reduce the risk of personal injury. And always use the appropriate eye, hearing, and respiratory personal protective equipment. Today, there's not a lot of hazards. There are a few sharp edges and some pinch points, so be careful that you don't hurt your hands. The box is heavy, so have another person help you while moving it. Follow the manual carefully. If there's a discrepancy between this video and the manual, always follow the manual. I've seen 2 versions of the manual, the one on the Charbroil website dated 2023, and the one that came with my grill dated 2024. There are a few slight differences, but they're essentially the same. The manual suggests that you use 2 people to put the grill box on the legs. I did it myself, but then I'm freakishly tall with long arms, so it was no problem for me. But if you're closer to normal size, a second person will make the job easier. If you're following along, you're doing so at your own risk. And if you don't feel comfortable doing any of these activities, then don't. Now, let's get started. The unboxing went smoothly, but for a moment I thought Charbroil had forgotten the fasteners. However, I found them in a well-organized card between the 2 front panels. I checked the parts against the parts list, and they were all there. Let's get started. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver and an adjustable wrench. A hammer to tap in the feet can help, but a block of wood will also work. Find legs 2 and 4 and lay them on the floor with the screw holes facing up. The numbers are stamped on the end. Attach the 2 upper side cart braces to the legs using 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws on the end with the numbers. The one with the match holder on a chain is attached to leg 2. Then attach the lower cart braces to the other end of the legs using 4 more screws. The one with gussets on the corners goes on leg 4. Refer to the manual for proper part orientation. Of course, step 1 is the perfect time for me to make my first and hopefully only mistake. I completely overlooked installing this tank exclusion bar. It just slides into the holes. It's there to keep the user from installing the propane tank on the wrong side. When I finished assembling the grill, my wife directed my attention to the leftover part. Luckily, I was able to install it by removing and loosening a few screws. Oh well. In step 2, attach the side braces to the legs 1 and 3. The brace with the match holder is attached to the leg 1. Use 8 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws as in the previous step. In the third step, start 4 10/24 by 1/2 inch screws into the indicated holes in the inside of legs 1 and 3. Don't tighten them. Make sure they protrude enough to hang the front panels on them. In step 4, attach the front panels to the legs. Place the panels face down on the floor. I put the one with the Charbroil on at the bottom. Hook the panels onto the legs using the protruding screws installed in step 3 through the keyhole-shaped holes in the panels. Then use 4 more 1024 screws through the regular holes to fasten the panels to the legs. Finally, tighten the protruding screws. In step 5, attach the feet and wheels. The wide foot inserts into the bottom of leg 3, and the narrow foot goes into the bottom of leg 4. You might have to tap the feet a little with a hammer or a block of wood. Next, install the wheels. Put a washer on the axle rod and then put the axle rod through the wheel. Next, install the wheel spacer on the axle rod. Then install the axle rod assemblies through the holes in legs 1 and 2. Follow up by installing another washer and then finally the hitch clip. The wheels have wheel covers. There's a little pin on the cover that goes into a locating hole in the wheel. Line up all the holes and snap the cover into place. Now start 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws into legs 2 and 4. Put the screws into the top hole of each group of 2 holes. Don't tighten them yet since you'll be hanging the rear braces on them in the next step. In step 7, put the 2 rear braces in place by inserting the protruding screws into the keyhole-shaped holes in the brace. Then install 4 more 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws into the regular holes, and then finally tighten all the screws. Next, install the S-shaped tank exclusion wire that prevents the propane tank from being installed on the wrong side. Put the top hook into a hole in the front panel and then fasten the bottom of the wire to the lower cart rear brace using a 1024 by 3/4 inch screw and nut. There are 2 sets of holes in the panel and brace. Use the set of holes farthest from the wheels. Next, install the firebox onto the cart. Lift the box and place it on the cart with the propane controls facing the front of the cart. It will slide between the tabs on the upper side brace. Secure the firebox to the cart using 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws through the tabs into the grill. You might have to loosen and retighten the screws between the upper braces and the legs if the firebox screws are hard to install. In step 10, install the thermometer and the handle. Remove the wing nut and washer from the thermometer. Install the thermometer in the hole in the grill top lid, and then reinstall the washer and wing nut. The handle is installed using 2 special 1/4 by 3/4 inch screw assemblies. With a washer on either side of the grill top lid, insert the screw assembly through the lid and screw into the handle on each end. Install the burner knobs on the burner valves in step 11. The knobs go on only one way. Line up the flat in the knob with the flat on the valve stem and simply press them on. Exercise each valve to ensure that the knobs are installed correctly. In step 12, prepare the side shelves. Add the left and right support braces to the bottoms of the respective side shelf using 4 1024 screws. Then screw in the hook assemblies onto the front of each shelf, 3 on one side and 3 on the other. Steps 13 and 14 were the most difficult for me, mainly because I was trying to film the process. There really isn't enough room for your head, hand, and video camera. So I got fair shots, but my techniques were pretty weird. Start by hanging the right side shelf on the 2 screws that are protruding from the right side of the firebox. Then install 3 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws and washers through the firebox into the shelf. Next, install a 10/24 screw through the support brace into the firebox. Finish by tightening the protruding screws that the shelf was originally hung on. Step 14 is similar to step 13, just on the left side of the grill. Install the electronic ignition module in step 15. Remove the button and nut from the module and place the module through the hole in the left side shelf. Then install the nut and tighten, just not too much since everything's only plastic. Then add the battery and screw on the button. In step 16, connect the igniter wires to the ignition module. There are 2 igniter wires that protrude out the left side of the firebox. Push the wire connectors onto the terminals on the ignition module. It doesn't matter which one. Install the heat tents in step 17. There's a larger searing heat tent that's installed on the right side and 3 smaller heat tents on the left. Simply insert the tabs on the tents into the front slots of the firebox. Then lay the back of the tents on the support on the back. The grates are installed in step 18. The larger grate is on the right and the 2 smaller grates are toward the left. In step 19, install the warming rack. There are 3 holes in the back of the firebox and a couple holes on the sides that the rack sets into. Next, install the grease tray. First, install the 2 grease cup brackets using 4 10/24 screws. The brackets go on only one way. They'll cover up the grease holes if they're installed backwards. After the brackets are installed, slide the entire assembly under the firebox using slots in the rear of the firebox. You might have to jiggle the tray a bit to make sure it is fully installed. It shouldn't stick out past the back of the grill. In step 21, install the grease cup. Simply slide it between the grease cup brackets installed in step 20. Install the tank retention wire in step 22. The ends of the wire point down into the holes on the outside of the legs with wheels. Refer to the picture for proper orientation. For step 23, make sure your grill is outside. This is when the propane tank is installed. Lift the tank onto the tank support bracket that sits between the wheels. The ring of the bottom of the tank rests in cutouts in the bracket. Then clip the tank retaining wire over the upper ring on the tank. The valve should face toward the front of the grill. Route the propane hose over the tank retaining wire. Make sure that both sides of the tank connection are clean, and then screw the regulator into the valve. For step 24, attach the clip that holds the hose to the front leg with a 1/4 by 1/2 inch screw. Make sure the hose is properly routed with no kinks or strains. Finally, attach the shoulder screw to the left rear leg. This provides a place to hang the match holder. That finishes the grill assembly. Remove all the decals and stickers from your grill before you fire it up for the first time. Read the manual before you use your grill. Before opening the tank valve, make sure all the burner valves are closed. Then slowly open the tank valve. This is to prevent the regulator safety valve from sensing a leak and closing. If the safety valve closes, then the grill won't get enough propane to fully function. You'll have to reset the regulator safety valve by following the instructions in the manual. Whenever I attach the tank to any grill, I use Snoop to check out for leaks. This is just some dish detergent mixed with water in a squirt bottle. The solution will bubble if there's a gas leak. I let my grill run for 15 to 20 minutes at high temperature before I put food on it for the first time. This will burn off all the oils used during the manufacturing process. Thanks for joining me today. We assembled a new Charbroil 4-burner propane grill. I finished in plenty of time to practice grilling before my big party. Now it's time for sliders and dogs. If you like this video or you think someone else might, please give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. The more likes this video has, the more YouTube will recommend it to others. Also, please leave a comment or suggestion for things to do. I hope to do more of these videos, so please subscribe and click on the bell for notifications of new videos. Let's get together next time for another day in Life with David. See you soon!